Coming up, I'm going to be talking about Zombies 4. Also, an update on the new Star Wars film featuring Rey and much more. But before we go any further, make sure you do hit that subscribe button to keep up with the latest Disney Plus news. Hi everyone, it's Roger here from What's On at DisneyPlus.com. It's time for a quick Disney Plus news roundup. Let's start off talking about Zombies 4 because according to Production Weekly, a brand new film is now in active development. And interestingly enough, it's actually going to be filmed possibly down in Auckland in New Zealand, a lovely part of the world. It is great down there. But the past 3 films have been filmed in Toronto, Canada. But there might be a good reason for that. That's because this brand new film looks like it's going to be introducing vampires into the franchise. We've seen werewolves, we've seen zombies, and we've seen aliens. Now it's time for some vampires. Gonna see both Meg and Milo returning for this upcoming film, and it'll be directed by Paul Hun and it'll be created by Bloor Street Productions, who have previously worked on Spin and both Zombies 2 and 3. I mean, Zombies has been a big success for the Disney Channel. It's going to be created for Disney Plus, a bit like what they did with Zombies 3, where it was kind of a Disney Plus release and then it got put out on linear. But yeah, I think this franchise just keeps growing and growing and growing. I suspect as well it's very cheap for them to make, but with special songs and it just looks kind of cool, and with dancing and stuff, it definitely seems to have found an audience. And I'm not surprised that Disney are continuing to kind of run this one into the ground, because if there's still money to be made, that's what they like to do. They've also got animated series and a whole host of stuff coming with Zombies. So yeah, so we've got Zombies 4 coming. Are you excited about this? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. Let's now talk about Star Wars and the brand new film that's going to see Daisy Ridley return as Rey. So this film was initially announced back at Star Wars Celebration in London. I was there. I got to see this, seeing Daisy Ridley in person doing this. This was fantastic. I did enjoy the 3 movies, though I definitely preferred The Force Awakens. But she's going to be returning in this new film. It's set about maybe 15 years or so after the events of The Rise of Skywalker. No word yet on when this one's going to get filmed or anything like that, and I think with all the strikes and stuff, things have been delayed a little bit. But recently Daisy Ridley was out promoting her brand new film, Sometimes I Think About Dying, and she revealed a little bit more about the upcoming film, whereas she says, I know the storyline for the one film. That's not to say that's all it is, but that's what I've been told about, and I imagine it will be the next film. Again, I don't know, post-strikes and everything, how quickly everything will start up again. But yes, as far as I know, the story of one film, and I think people will be very excited. Now, this is the key thing with this upcoming film. We don't know if it's going to be a trilogy or just a standalone thing. Might depend on how well it does. I'm hoping that they bring Grogu in on this one and kind of bring him in as a little character, because I think that would be a great way of kind of expanding the universe a little bit. But yeah, so she's excited about it. I hope she is, because obviously she's going to be working on it. And hopefully as well that they can maybe fix some of the issues that came about from The Last Jedi and also with The Rise of Skywalker, and kind of set her character in the right direction. She's going to be leading the Return of the Jedi. Yeah, I think it sounds pretty cool. Hopefully as well with Dave Filoni now as the Chief Creative Officer, they kind of got a little bit more insight into what they're doing. But yeah, so when this actually finally happens, who knows? I mean, the amount of Star Wars films that they've announced over the past few years, and they've gone nowhere. When we actually see some filming happening, that's going to be when we know that it's actually happening. So it could be years off, but hopefully we get an update on this pretty soon. But let us know, excited about a new film featuring Rey? Let's hear your thoughts on that in the comments below. With it being Black Friday, let's talk about one of the big offers. It got revealed earlier this week, but just want to remind everyone, if you are interested in getting Hulu, you can do so now from as little as 99 cents a month for a year. Also as well, you can do an add-on as well to get Stars for 99 cents a month for 6 months. So that's a nice little bonus if you want to watch some shows like Outlander. But also, if you haven't got Disney Plus and you haven't got Hulu, this is a great way of kind of doing and getting some deal bargains, because you can get Hulu for 99 cents. You can also then get Disney Plus added in for just a few bucks extra each month. So you're going to be able to get that bundle with ads for like about $3-4 a month. So great offer if you haven't got it. Unfortunately, if you are already a Disney Plus subscriber, you're not really going to be able to get hold of the full deal and stuff. But yeah, great way of kind of getting Hulu. But yeah, and you'll also find an affiliate link in the comments below. But let us know, have you checked out Hulu? I'd love to hear your thoughts on that in the comments below. With it being Friday, let's talk about what's new on Disney Plus today. The major new release around the world was a classic documentary, Christmas with Walt Disney. This was put together by the Walt Disney Museum, and this has now been kind of released globally. I'm going to be checking it out over the weekend. Really looking forward to watching it. A lot of people are obviously excited about having some content with the original Walt Disney in there. You know, we don't get a lot of that on Disney Plus. It's great to see this one in here, so that's definitely big recommendation for this weekend if you haven't already done so. But let us know what you're going to be watching on Disney Plus over the weekend. And remember, Saturday it's Doctor Who night, so that's going to be a great one. And then on Sunday we got Faraway Downs internationally, so lots of great stuff dropping over the weekend. But let us know what you're looking forward to watching in the comments below. In our comment today, which comes from Diabolical Gaming, he says, "Hi Roger, Bob came back a year ago now. What changes has he done in the last year that have been any good?" So this is a really interesting thing. So yeah, this time last year at the Elton John concert, Bob Chapek got booted out and Bob Iger returned. And in this past year, it has been a very messy year for Disney. No point in sugarcoating it. They have just been that meme of Sideshow Bob just stepping from one like fork to another and getting whacked in the face. Pretty much sums up this year. They have just been bouncing into these problems, and Iger has been trying to put some of them out. Now there's a lot of right now there's just a lot of pressure on Disney for everything. No matter what they do, somebody's annoyed with them. You know, I said yesterday to someone, they could give out $100 to everyone in the world right now and people would still complain either it was not enough or why are they doing it. It would be one of those two things. So yeah, I think Iger has kind of got Disney going in the right direction. It feels much more positive now than it did a year ago. But there's been a lot of upheaval. You know, you've got the big change coming next week with the buyout of Hulu. We don't know what he's going to sell to offset that. You know, is there going to be a big change in India? Is there going to be some other assets that he's going to get rid of? So it'd be nice to kind of feel like that's going to get resolved pretty soon. I mean, at that point now that once Comcast is kind of out the picture next week, by the end of next week, that should really hopefully start allowing them to kind of open up, because we've heard nothing about Hulu on Disney Plus this month, and I'm thinking now we might not hear anything till Friday. That's kind of how it's going to work. But yeah, so I think there's been a lot of changes. He's been doing a lot of cuts, lots of job cuts, lots of changes, lots of different opinion. And I think that sometimes, especially with the internet, is expectations are that you do something now and you're going to see the reaction now. You know, there's no patience for anything. This stuff is going to take years to change. A lot of the stuff that was already being in place went before he left, and kind of either got sped up with Chapek, or there's some stuff that Chapek did that Bob's trying to like reverse. I think a lot of this primarily is dealing with the aftermath of the pandemic, and more importantly, dealing with the aftermath of buying out 20th Century Fox. And I do not think that they've really utilized those brands and the assets properly. They kind of squiggled them. They've just done nothing with them. You know, Hotstar was the big thing to get subscribers. That's fizzled and farted. And you know, we've had 20th Century Studios, which was amazing. I think Searchlight and FX seem to be doing all right. You know, there's been rumours of National Geographic being so. It's like, well, what was the point of buying it all if you're just going to sell it? I mean, at this point, and they've not really utilised the library on Disney Plus, I don't think. Yeah, we've had some great shows and some great movies, but you know, they've got a 100-year-old company and we're barely scratching the surface for some of the films that are available. And then they started and now they're licensing stuff out to other platforms. It's like, what was the point? They didn't need, at this point, you could have saved $70 billion and just put some more money into building back up Touchstone Pictures and doing something that way. You kind of question, and now he's going to be spending out more money on Hulu. Would have been just better just to sold their stake in Hulu at the time and just, you know, moved. I don't know. It just seems so weird of like, they've just fizzled with 20th Century Studios of everything that they brought from there, and I don't think they've utilised it. They've had a few hits and stuff, and they've got some great franchises, but I don't think they've really utilised that. They don't really get what they're doing, and I think that's the problem with it. So hopefully that's where they can set this apart and try and work things out. I think like Searchlight seems to be doing all right. They seem to be still churning out some great films, but 20th Century Studios, you know, we've hardly had any major releases this year that have kind of done well. You know, we've had Haunting in Venice, didn't do much. You know, they created, I think right now box office on a whole is just on a big slump. There's just very little that's actually getting through and becoming a big hit. You know, if you discount Barbenheimer of that event phenomenon, the only thing really that's done well this year is Super Mario. And yeah, just nothing really has kind of been that good at the box office. I think that's an issue. I think funneling everything through Disney Plus has caused them some issues, and they've got to get there. They've got to make some changes. I'm hoping with the shift away from linear, things will improve. But yeah, it's been a messy year, and I'm hoping 2024 we get a clearer sight of where they're going, and I'm hoping obviously we're getting the Comcast situation sorted, that they can get going on that and get sorted. But that's my hope. But yeah, it has been a very messy year. He definitely just kept whacking his face. I mean, the whole thing with the strikes and becoming like public enemy #1 with just like the day before it, just putting his foot so far in his mouth he could literally, it was just, yeah, he just made so many messes. And yeah, I think he's definitely got to, he can't buy his way out of this problem right now with buying something and kind of doing it. Disney's going to need a lot of work in 2024 to repair the damage that's been done over the last 2, 3, 4 years. High quality content is going to help that, but that takes time to create. It doesn't just happen overnight, so it might be a while till we see stuff. And I think, to be honest, them slowing down releases is the best way for them just to kind of stretch it out a little bit more, maybe put a little bit more advertising and promoting on a single product and stuff and get things right. But let us know what you think. What do you think of Bob Iger's return over the last year? I'd love to hear your thoughts on that in the comments below. Remember to go check us out over at whatson@disneyplus.com. Coming up on Saturday, there will be an interview with the composer of Wish, so that will be going up on the YouTube channel and on our podcast feed. And also on Sunday, I'll be back for a live Q&A. And on that note, guys, thank you very much. See you guys soon. Laters.